Hello students, myself Amrita Dhar, Assistant Professor of Electrical Engineering Department of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management JIS Group. Now, I will teach you switchgear and protection. I have missed two topics, rating of circuit breaker from module 2 and insulation coordination from module 6. In this video, I will discuss about these topics. Rating of circuit breaker from module 2. A circuit breaker may be called upon to operate under all conditions. However, major duties are imposed on the circuit breaker where there is a fault on the system in which it is connected. Under fault condition, a circuit breaker is required to perform the three duties. It must be capable of opening the fault circuit and breaking the fault current. It must be capable of being closed onto a fault. It must be capable of carrying fault current for a short time while another circuit breaker is clearing the fault. Now, corresponding to these duties, the circuit breaker have three ratings: breaking capacity, making capacity and short time capacity. First is breaking capacity of the circuit breaker. It is the current that a circuit breaker is capable of breaking at a recovery voltage and under unspecified condition. Example: power factor, rate of rise of restriking voltage. The breaking capacity is always started RMS value of the fault current at the instant of contact separation. When a fault current occurs, there is a considerably asymmetric in the fault current due to presence of a DC component. The DC component dies out rapidly, a typical decrement factor being 0.8 per cycle. Referring to this figure, the contacts are separated by D dash. At this instant, the fault current has X, maximum value of AC component Y, DC component. Symmetrical breaking capacity is equal to RMS value of the AC component. So, peak value of the AC component is X. So, RMS value of AC component is X by root 2. Asymmetry breaking current equals to RMS value of the total current is equal to root over X by root 2 whole square plus Y square. It is a common practice to express the breaking capacity in MVA by taking into account the rated breaking current and rated service voltage. Thus, if I is the rated breaking current in ampere and V is the rated service line voltage in volt, then for a three-phase circuit, breaking capacity is equal to root over 3 into V into I into 10 to the power minus 6 MVA. In India, it is usual practice to take breaking capacity equal to symmetrical breaking capacity. However, American practice is to take breaking current equal to asymmetrical breaking current. Thus, the American rating given to a circuit breaker is higher than the Indian or British rating. It seems to be illogical to give breaking capacity in MVA since it is obtained from the product of the short circuit current and rated service voltage. When the short circuit current is flowing, there is only a small voltage across the breaker contacts, while the service voltage appears across the contacts only after current has been interrupted. Thus, MVA rating is the product of two quantities which do not exist simultaneously in the circuit. Therefore, the agreed international standard of specified breaking capacity is defined as the rated symmetrical breaking current at a rated voltage. Next is the making capacity of circuit breaker. There is always a possibility of closing or making the circuit under short circuit condition. The capacity of breaker to make current depends upon its ability to withstand and close successfully against the effects of electromagnetic forces. These forces are proportional to the square of the maximum instantaneous current on closing. Therefore, making capacity is stated in terms of a peak value of the current instead of RMS value. The peak value of current including DC component during the first cycle of the current wave after the closure of the circuit breaker is known as the making capacity. It may be noted that the definition is concerned with the first cycle of current wave on closing the circuit breaker. This is because the maximum value of the fault current possibly occurs in the first cycle only when maximum asymmetry occurs in any phase of the breaker. In other words, making current is equal to the maximum value of the asymmetry current. To find these values, we must multiply the symmetrical breaking current by √2 to convert the RMS to peak value and then multiply it by 1.8 to include the doubling factor of maximum asymmetry. The total multiplication factor becomes √2 into 1.8 equal to 2.55. So making capacity is equal to 2.55 into symmetrical breaking capacity. Next is the short time rating of circuit breaker. It is the period for which circuit breaker is able to carry fault current while remaining closed. Sometimes a fault on the system is of very temporary nature and persists for 1 to 2 seconds, after which the fault is automatically cleared. In the interest of continuity of supply, the breaker should not trip in such situation. This means that circuit breaker should be able to carry high current safely for some specified period while remaining closed. That is, they should have been proven short time rating. However, if the fault persists for a duration longer than the specified time limit, the circuit breaker will trip, disconnecting the faulty section. The short time rating of a circuit breaker depends upon its ability to withstand, first, the electromagnetic force effects, second, the temperature rise. The all circuit breaker have a specified limit of 3 seconds when the ratio of symmetrical breaking capacity to the rated normal current does not exceed 40. However, if the ratio is more than 40, then the specified limit is 1 second. Next is the normal current limit. It is the RMS value of the current which the circuit breaker is capable of carrying continuously as its rated frequency under specified condition. The only limitation is in this case is the temperature rise of current carrying parts. Next is current chopping. It is the phenomena of current interruption before the natural current zero is reached. Current chopping mainly occurs in air blast circuit breaker because they retain the same extinguished power irrespective of the magnitude of the current to be interrupted. When breaking low currents, example transformer magnetizing current, with such breakers, the powerful deionizing effect of air blast causes the current to fall abruptly to zero, well before the natural current is reached. This phenomena is known as current chopping and results in the production of the high voltage transient across the contacts of the circuit breaker. Now suppose the arc I, when it is chopped down to zero value as shown by the point A, this point, as the chop occurs at current I, therefore the energy stored in the inductance is Li square by 2. This energy will be transferred to capacitance C and charging the latter to a prospective voltage E, given half Li square equals to Ce square by 2. From this equation, E is equal to I root over L by C volts. The prospective voltage E is very high as compared to the dielectric strength gained by the gap, so that the breakers restrikes. As the deionizing force is still in action, therefore chop occurs again, but the arc current this time is smaller than the previous case. This induces a low prospective voltage to ignite the arc. In fact, several chops may occur until a low enough current is interrupted, which produces insufficient induced voltage to restrike across the breaker gap. Consequently, the final interruption of circuit current takes place. Excessive voltage due to the current chopping are prevented by shunting the contacts of the breaker with a resistor, such that reignition is unlikely to occur. Next is the capacitive current breaking. Now, another cause of excessive voltage surge in the circuit breaker is the interruption of capacitive current. Example of such instances are opening of an unloaded long transmission line, disconnecting a capacitor bank used for power factor improvement, etc. Consider the simple equivalent circuit of an unloaded transmission line shown in the figure. Such a line, although unloaded in normal cells, will actually carry a capacitive current I on the account of appreciable amount of capacitance in between the line and the earth. Now let us suppose that the line is opened by the circuit breaker at the instant when line capacitive current is 0. At this instant the generator voltage VR will be maximum, that is VGM, and lagging behind by the current 90 degree. VG waveform. This is the waveform of VG, and VG lags behind the current by 90 degree. The opening of the line leaves a standing charge on it, that is end of B of the line, and the capacitor C1 is charged to VGM. However, the generator end of the line, that is end A of the line, continues its normal sinusoidal variation. The voltage VR across the circuit breaker will be the difference between the voltages on the respective sides. Its initial value is 0 and increases slowly in the beginning, but half a cycle later, point R in the figure, this point, the potential of the circuit breaker contact A becomes maximum negative, which causes the voltage across the breaker VR to become 2 VGM. Now this voltage may be sufficient to restrict the arc. The two previously separated parts of the circuit will now be joined by an arc of very low resistance. The line capacitance discharges at once to reduce the voltage across the circuit breaker, thus setting up high frequency transient. The peak value of the initial transient will be twice the voltage at the instant, that is minus 4 into VGM. This will cause the transmission voltage to swing to minus VGM to plus VGM, that is minus 3 VGM. The restrike arc, the current quickly reaches its first zero as it varies at natural frequency. The voltage on the line is now minus 3 VGM, and once again the two halves of the circuit are separated and the line is isolated at this potential. After about half a cycle further, the aforesaid events are repeated even on more formidable scale, and the line may be left with a potential of 5 VGM above the earth potential. Theoretically, this phenomena may proceed infinitely, increasing the voltage by successive increment of 2 times VGM. It is obvious that if the gap breakdown strength does not increase rapidly enough, successive restrikes can build up a dangerous value in the opening circuit line. However, due to a leakage and corona loss, the maximum voltage on the line in such cases is limited to 5 VGM. Next one is the resistance switching. It is clear that current chopping and capacitive current breaking give rise to severe voltage oscillation. These excessive voltage surges during circuit interruption can be prevented by use of a shunt resistance connected across the circuit breaker. Shunt resistance connected across the circuit breaker. This is known as resistance switching. Now, when a fault occurs, the contact of the circuit breaker are opened and an arc is struck between the contacts. Since the contacts are shunted by resistance R, a part of arc current flows through this resistance. This results in decrease of arc current and increase in rate of deionization of the arc path. Consequently, the arc resistance is increased. The increased arc resistance leads to a further increase in current through shunt resistance. This process continues until the arc current becomes so small that it fails to maintain the arc. Now the arc is extinguished and the circuit current is interrupted. The shunt resistor also helps in limiting the oscillatory growth of restriking voltage. Now it can be proof mathematically that the natural frequency of oscillation is Fn equal to 1 by 2 pi root over 1 by Lc minus 1 by 4 R square C square. The effect of shunt resistance R is to prevent the oscillatory growth of restriking voltage and cause it to grow exponentially up to recovery voltage. This is being most effective when the value of R is so chosen that the circuit is critically damped. The value of R required for critical damping is 0.5 root over L by C. Now in this picture you can see that oscillatory growth and exponential growth when the circuit is critically damped. Now the resistor across the breaker contacts is used to perform first to reduce the rate of restriking voltage and peak value of restriking voltage, second to reduce the voltage surges due to current chopping and the capacitive current breaking, third to ensure even sharing of restriking voltage transient across the various breaks in multi-break circuit breakers. Next is a numerical problem. A circuit breaker is rated as 1500 ampere 1000 MVA 33 kV 3 second 3 phase oil circuit breaker. Find rated current, breaking capacity, rated symmetrical breaking current, rated making current, short time rating and rated service voltage. Now rated normal current is 1500 ampere, that is the rated normal current. Next breaking capacity is 1000 MVA. It is the rated breaking capacity. Now next one is the rated symmetrical breaking components. Now total breaking capacity divided by root 3 into the total voltage. Now this is the rated symmetrical breaking current. Now we convert MVA into VA and kV into V volt, so that we get the rated symmetrical current in ampere. So the result is 17496 amperes. Next one is the rated making current, that is equal to 2.55 into symmetrical breaking current. This is the formula. Rated making current is equal to 2.55 into rated symmetrical breaking current. Rated making current 44614 ampere. This is the peak value. Now short time rating is 17496 ampere for 3 seconds. It is given. Now rated service voltage, it is also given, that is 33 kV RMS values. Now insulation coordination in power system. Now insulation coordination in power system was introduced to arrange the electrical insulation level of different components in the electrical power system, including transmission network, in such a manner that the failure of insulator, if occurs, confines to the place where it would result in the least damage of the system, easy to repair and replace, and the result least disturbance to the power supply. Now when any voltage appear in the electrical power system, then there may be a chance of failure of the insulation system. Probability of the failure of the insulation is high at the weakest insulation point nearest to the source of the voltage. In power system and transmission network, insulation is provided to all the equipments and components. So in insulation coordination method, the insulation of various parts must be so graded that flashover, if occurs, it must be at intended points. Insulator in some points are easily replaceable and repairable compared to other. Insulation in some points are not so easily replaceable and repairable, and replacement and repairing may be highly expensive and require long interruption of the power. Moreover, the failure of the insulator at these points may cause bigger part of the electrical network to be out of service. So it is desirable that in this situation of insulation failure, only easily replaceable and repairable insulator fails. The overall aim of the insulation coordination is to reduce to an economical and operational acceptable level of cost and disturbance caused by the insulation failure. In insulation coordination method, the insulation of the various parts of the system must be so graded that flashover, if occurs, it must be at intended points. Next is the insulation level. Every electrical equipment has to undergo different abnormal transient overvoltage situation in different times during its total service life period. The equipment may have to withstand lightning impulse, switching impulse, and or short duration power frequency over voltages. Depending upon the maximum level of impulse voltage and short duration of power frequency over voltages that one power system component can withstand, the insulation level of high voltage power system is determined. During determining the insulation level of the system rated less than 300 kV, the lightning impulse withstand voltage and short duration power frequency withstand voltage are considered. For equipment rated more or equal 300 kV, switching impulse withstand voltage and short duration power frequency withstand voltage are considered. Proper insulation coordination should ensure that the volt-time curve of the weakest piece of equipment in the system will lie above the volt-time curve of the protective device such as lightning arrestor over whole range of the volt-time curve. So suppose this is the weakest part of the power system, this is the weakest equipment of the power system. The volt-time curve of the weakest equipment of the power system should be above the volt-time curve of the protective device such as lightning arrestor over the whole range of the volt-time curve.
That's all from today's class. If you have any problem, please contact with me. My contact details is given on the first slide. Thank you.